One thing that I use in between oil changes to remember how many miles I've gone, I typically write it down, but for those who don't, I use my trip counter. So we are going to do an oil change today, so I know that I have been 6,000 miles since my last oil change. If I hold this in, it'll reset to 0, so when I turn this truck on after my mile change, it will start ticking again, and I won't have to remember how many miles that I've gone. When determining how much oil your actual vehicle takes, the capacity in the crankcase with the filter, you want to consult your actual vehicle manual. And if I turn to the oil section, and it's usually under your maintenance for your vehicle, I know that this is a 5.7, and 5.7 is going to be 7 quarts or 6.6 liters, and that is with an oil filter. So this will also give you the weight, so I need 5W20 engine oil. If you don't have a manual, you can always consult any of the AutoZones or O'Reilly's or anybody that will sell you oil and ask them at the counter for the actual oil filter you'll need and the capacity of your crankcase. So we need to pop the hood. Then we want to locate the hood latch and open the hood to gain access to our motor. In order to do the appropriate oil change for your vehicle, you will need the right amount of oil. So we needed 7 quarts per the owner's manual, like I showed you guys earlier. So 5, 6, 7, the proper weight, so 5W20. Come over here, we're still 5W20 on our oil, so we are good on the oil. You will also need the appropriate oil filter for your motor, and if you don't know which oil filter goes to the engine that you're working on, just ask the guys at any parts counter, say, hey, what filter matches up for my motor, and they will direct you to the exact one. That's how I found out this M210A goes to my Dodge Ram 2011 5.7 motor. So here we are. So this is the direct fitment. What else you might need is an oil wrench. So depending on how tight this filter is on the motor, I'll show you how this works. This will actually enable you to remove it if you can't remove it by hand. And finally, you will need an oil catch pan. This will catch all of the old waste oil from the bottom of your motor when you take the drain pan bolt out. And then you will also need this funnel when you fill your motor back up, so you can put this on top of your motor and pour your oil directly into it without spilling it all over the top of your engine. I remove the oil filler cap on top of the engine just to relieve any pressure in the crankcase, and through the duration I put a rag over the top of it so nothing falls down in the engine. Okay, so we are ready to break this bolt loose. I already cracked it just because trying to film it and do it at the same time would make you guys seasick. So I got my 13 millimeter socket, and all you do, pretty straightforward, you just put that guy on that bolt, make sure it's spinning the right way, counterclockwise, and you can hear it cranking, and as soon as it stops cranking, you can undo it by hand. We have our oil catch pan in place. My typical rule of thumb is I usually use the edge of this pan and put it under right about here under the front of this bolt, because the pressure of this fluid will actually shoot it out a ways, and that way this pan will catch all of that fluid. If you move it ahead and set that pan up directly underneath, chances are this fluid will actually come out and shoot over the pan onto your driveway. Just in case, I have a ton of shop rags. Now that the bolt's loose, I always try and keep my hand over the top of it while I'm backing it out, and just do it with my finger. I'll reposition my pan, and then I'll just let the bolt fall into the pan. And the oil's landing in the pan just fine. And that's why you do kind of that rainbow pattern, and as it starts to slow down, you can actually push the oil pan closer to that location so you catch all your oil, and we'll let that whole thing drain. Okay guys, I pulled all the oil out. It's held up in its pan, and most of you might have noticed that I dropped the bolt into the oil. And instead of putting my hand in there, got this handy dandy telescoping magnet. So as we fish around, there it is. Instead of putting my hand in there and getting it all oily, I can just fish it right back out. Okay, here we are back under the truck again. Now this sump will continue to seep, as you can see it dripping forever. So I mean, if you're waiting for that to stop, you might as well leave it overnight. What we typically do at this point is just clean the area. And then hand thread your bolt back in. So it's sitting, and that gasket on there will stop that little pinhole leak. And then get your socket, 13 millimeter, put it back on there, and crank it down. And it only needs to be, slightly over hand tightened. The next thing you want to do is locate your old oil filter. Here's mine, and a lot of times you can actually take these off with your hand, but when they're too tight you may need an oil filter wrench, and I happen to have one, and I will what I'll do is get that thing set up and show you guys how that works, just in case you can't remove one of these with your hand. This is an oil filter wrench. It is a socket driven tool, and you can purchase these basically anywhere from Harbor Freight to Lowe's, to any hardware auto parts store. And what it does is it is just a cup that hooks to the bottom of the existing oil filter or new filter, and you hook your socket into the bottom of this, and it will let you use the socket to turn the oil filter on or off this motor. Before you remove your old oil filter, make sure you have a drain pan below. This old oil filter still holds a lot of oil that will need to also be drained down. That's why in the manual it actually gives you capacity with oil filter, because every time you change this you lose oil as well. So when I pull this off, you'll kind of get a visual how much oil is actually in that filter. So we have our oil filter wrench hooked up, and as you can see, it makes it really easy to turn this on and off, and as I loosen it, oil will start to seep down. So I want to make sure that my oil pan is in place while I do this, and now I can actually take the oil filter off by hand and control where most of this oil and the filter falls off of the motor. So as I start to back this off, you'll see oil start to drip off the bottom of it. I'll use this rag just to keep control of it, because this actual filter is full of oil from the top to the bottom. Oh, it's dripping off already, so I want to make sure that my pan is catching this oil, and what I'll do is let this thing basically leak until it stops, and then I'll come back and remove it all the way when this is done dripping. Now that it stopped dripping, I can take my rag and slowly back this off until it releases from the engine block without spilling it on your face. Oh. Like so, I guess. It kind of went the wrong way, but I've got the oil filter here, and what I'll do is bring it out the bottom of the engine and put it in the oil pan, and then we'll pull it out and I'll show you guys how this all looks and how we put it all back together. With your old filter, you want to make sure you turn it over and drain all of the old oil out of it, and with your new filter you want to take some of this old oil and just coat this rubber gasket with it, and what that'll do is make a seal against the engine block when you screw it back on. Before installing your new filter, you want to take a clean rag and wipe up all of the mating surfaces and inspect them for damage, anything that looks out of ordinary. This looks awesome. I think it looks really clean. I'm really happy with what I'm seeing on this guy. It's just a good, quick inspection to do, just in case something looks out of the ordinary. Finally, you want to slowly put your new filter in place and thread it on gently, making sure that you don't cross thread your filter, and screw this guy down hand tight. Then you want to come back through with your oil filter wrench and tighten your filter down fairly snug, just about like so. You don't want to over tighten an oil filter. As it heats up, it'll expand and that gasket will seat on your motor here. So there's no real reason to tighten it down as hard as you can. A lot of people will just take their hand and twist it on there as tight as they can, and that will do the job as well. So now what we'll need to do is go to the top of the motor and fill the motor back up with oil. And then finally we will dump all of our new oil inside of the engine. Once you've put all your oil in, reinstall your oil cap. Finally, using your empty oil jugs, you can take your waste oil and dump it into these jugs, and that makes it easy to take it back to the auto parts store for recycling.